What was the single most important trade in human history? Not gold for land, not spices for silk. We traded the horse for an idea, and that idea became a machine that would reshape everything: our cities, our wars, our climate, our very identity. For 200 years, this machine has been our mirror. It's been a luxury toy, a middle-class dream, an ecological villain, and is now becoming a sentient partner. This is not a story of nuts and bolts. This is the story of us. Strap in. We're going from the rattling, smoke-belching experiments of 1900 to the silent, mind-reading sky pods of 2100. This is the full, uncensored evolution of the car. Picture America in 1900. The primary sound in cities wasn't traffic, it was horse hooves on cobblestone. But with that came 15 pounds of manure per horse per day. Cities were drowning in it. The horseless carriage wasn't just a curiosity, it was seen by many as a sanitary savior. But for the average person, it was a terrifying novelty. Newspapers wrote editorials warning that the human body couldn't survive speeds over 25 miles per hour. Doctors claimed it would cause brain fever. Yet, a daring few saw freedom. People like Bertha Benz, who in 1888, without her husband's knowledge, took his patented motor wagon on the world's first long-distance road trip. She fixed breakdowns with a hot pen and used her garter to insulate a wire. She didn't just test a car, she proved its practical possibility and created the concept of the road trip. The early race wasn't just about technology, steam, electric, gasoline. It was about vision. Electric cars were marketed to women, quiet, clean, no hand cranking. Ads called them the perfect town carriage for the lady. Gasoline cars were for tinkerers and adventurers, loud and smelly, but limitless. This was the seed, not just of a machine, but of a new relationship with distance.
Enter Henry Ford. He didn't invent the car, he invented access. His vision wasn't for the elite. He famously said, "I will build a motor car for the great multitude." The 1908 Model T, affectionately called the Tin Lizzie. It was slow, ugly, and only came in black because black paint dried fastest, but it was tough as nails. To understand its impact, meet someone like John Smith, a hypothetical but very real composite of millions. A farmer in Iowa, 1915. His world was about 10 miles in radius, the distance a horse could reasonably take him and return in a day. With a Model T, his world exploded. He could get goods to market faster, his family could visit relatives in the next county. The isolation of rural life cracked open. This created a cultural earthquake. Courtship changed. Young couples could escape the watchful eyes of front porch chaperones. They could spark at a drive-in restaurant. The car became a private parlor on wheels, reshaping romance and privacy. And with freedom came new laws. The first speed limits, the first driver's licenses, the first traffic jams. We were literally inventing the rules of this new world as we sped into it. The Great Depression hit. For many, a new car was an impossible dream. But here, the car became an emotional escape. Hollywood poured glamour onto the screen. Films showed the wealthy gliding in luxurious Duesenbergs. Cars became rolling art. The 1930s streamlined modern design, seen in the Chrysler Airflow, wasn't just aerodynamic, it was hope. Its smooth curves promised a frictionless, optimistic future amid economic despair. Then came World War II. Factories stopped making cars and started making tanks and planes. Rubber and gasoline were rationed. People had to get A, B, C stickers for their windshields to dictate their fuel allowance. The car was idle, a reminder of peace. When the war ended, the pent-up demand exploded, but so did a new cultural force, the teenager. Pre-war, you were a child and then an adult. Now, with cheap used cars and post-war prosperity, a new identity was born. The car became the teenage heartbeat. It was a mobile clubhouse. The drive-in theater became the Saturday night cathedral. The sound of a V8 engine wasn't just power, it was youth, rebellion, and independence. This is when the car fused with our personal identity. You weren't just a person, you were a Ford guy or a Chevy guy. It was tribal. The 1960s was the zenith of the American love affair. The Mustang, the Corvette. The open road was king, celebrated in songs and films. The car was pure, unadulterated joy. But by the late 60s, the first cracks appeared. Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed, exposed how manufacturers prioritized style over safety. The Chevrolet Corvair, he argued, was a death trap. Public trust was shaken. The car was now seen as potentially dangerous by design. Then, October 1973, the OPEC oil embargo. The crisis wasn't just about lines at the pump. It was a profound national panic. For the first time, the world reminded America that its freedom had a cost, and the bill was coming due. Speed limits were lowered to 55 miles per hour to save fuel. The phrase, "this pump closed," created a sense of vulnerability. This is the era's emotional core. Loss of innocence. The carefree, gas-guzzling party was over. The Mustang was replaced in the public's heart by the humble, pragmatic Toyota Corolla. It was reliable, efficient, and unsexy. It represented a new, sobering value, responsibility. The 1980s fightback was technological. The government mandated it. Seatbelts, airbags, catalytic converters. Engineers responded with microchips. Computer-controlled fuel injection meant you could have both power and efficiency. The car got smart to survive.
This era also birthed the soccer mom. The minivan wasn't a car. It was a command center for family life. It had cup holders for juice boxes, compartments for toys. It represented a shift from the car as an expression of self to a vessel for others, for shuttling kids, carrying groceries, fulfilling duty. And then, a quiet revolution in a Prius badge. The 1997 Toyota Prius didn't roar, it whirred. It asked us to look at a screen showing energy flow, to care about MPG as a score. It made efficiency visible, and for a growing segment, virtuous. Driving one said something about your values. Then came the earthquake, Tesla. The 2008 Roadster and the 2012 Model S did the unthinkable. They made the electric car aspirational. It wasn't a sacrifice, it was an upgrade. Instant torque, silent power, over-the-air updates. The car became a software platform. Crashes were fixed with downloads. The relationship shifted from owner and machine to user and interface. We are now in the era of the great uncoupling. For over a century, driving was a required skill, a rite of passage. With advanced driver assist systems and the horizon of full autonomy, we are decoupling mobility from the act of driving. The steering wheel, the icon of control, is becoming optional. This is perhaps the most profound emotional shift yet, from driver to passenger in our own journey. So what's next? The car is dissolving into the fabric of life. It's becoming a service, a space, an experience. It will be the office you work in, the cinema you relax in, the bedroom you nap in, as it glides silently toward your destination. We began this journey trying to master a machine. We are ending it by letting the machine master the journey for us. We traded the horse for freedom. We are now trading the steering wheel for time, safety, and attention.
So what does the horizon hold? By 2050, the car as we know it will have transformed completely. Imagine roads filled with modular transport pods, autonomous, electric, and interchangeable. You won't own a car, you'll subscribe to a mobility service. A pod picks you up in the morning, a sleek, compact single-passenger unit for your commute. It docks with a larger family module at a transit hub for the school run, then reconfigures into a cargo unit for grocery delivery on the way home. The vehicle adapts to your day, not the other way around. Energy will be ambient and invisible. Solar paint skins will cover every exterior surface, harvesting energy from sun and artificial light. Roads embedded with inductive charging coils will top up batteries as you drive. Some concepts even suggest kinetic energy capture from suspension movement and tire friction. Range anxiety will be a forgotten term. Your car might gain charge as often as it loses it. The materials will be alive. Self-healing polymers will seal minor scratches overnight. Shape memory alloys will allow body panels to morph for better aerodynamics at high speed. Windows will transition from clear to opaque, from entertainment screen to privacy shield with a voice command. By 2070, the distinction between road, rail, and air will blur. Magnetic levitation corridors will connect cities, where pods glide frictionless at 300 miles per hour in vacuum tubes, the modern Hyperloop realized. For shorter distances, vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL personal craft will navigate urban air corridors, turning rooftops into landing pads. Traffic control will be managed by a city-wide AI orchestrator,
a symphony of movement with no collisions, no traffic lights, just seamless flow. From the smell of hay and manure, to the smell of new vinyl, to the smell of fear at an empty gas gauge, to the smell of nothing at all in a silent EV, this has been our journey. It's been messy, glorious, dangerous, and transformative. What part of this story resonates with you? The freedom of the open road? The fear of the oil crisis? The anxiety or excitement about handing over the wheel? Your story is in these comments. If this journey through time meant something to you, hit like. It tells me to make more of these deep dives. Subscribe for the next chapter in our series on how technology reshapes us. Next up, the house. From caves to smart pods. And as always, thanks for riding with me.